This is the TV9 Bharatvarsh poll strat, and we've got the Republic TV mark as well.
Yeah.
So let's just go with the Republic one that's just come in, where BJP between 85 and remember total seats 224. The BJP between 85 and 100. The Congress at between 94 and 108. So quite slender.
It's a dead heat.
The JDS between 24 and 32. You want to go ahead and read the
It's
the
a dead
TV9?
heat. I mean, as far as this data is concerned, it's a very, very close election. If Republic TV...
Vishnu and Ankit.
Mark, just coming.
Let's just read once. Just read the next one. TV9.
The TV9 Bharatvarsh poll strat data says it's giving Congress an edge, 99 to 109 for the Congress, 88 to 98 for the Bharatiya Janata Party, 21 to 26 for the JDS. So two exit polls have come out. At this moment, more or less, they have one thing in common. They are giving JDS in the 20s and Congress in the BJP quite close. TV9 Bharatvarsh has given an edge to the Congress with 99 to 109 seats.
It's almost identical, both of them. Veera Raghav, go ahead. Your initial thoughts on this.
Just a quick point. I'm not, just a quick point. Anything below 120 is a defeat for the Congress in these elections.
Okay, the Z has come out with its numbers as well. The Z News, half a sec, Veera, Z News, Matrize agency, they have got...
Interesting. You know, the Z News is now...
The Congress at 100.
They are giving a majority to the Congress.
So
113 is the majority mark.
Is the magic mark.
112, yeah.
130, so 103 to 118 is for the Congress, 79 to 94. So the lower figure over here, it's not lower than, it is the lowest of the other compared to the three.
Yeah. So numbers have started coming in.
Okay, so let's get Shugato into your initial thoughts on this. All right, so Z is suggesting that the BJP is suggesting that the Congress between 103 and 118 and the BJP between 79 and 94. Z places the Congress ahead, but the others are neck and neck. Republic is 94 to 108 for the Congress. TV9 is 99 to 109. And for the BJP, it's 85 to 100 for Republic and 88 to 98. So within two of what Republic TV is saying.
No, but I think now...
TV9 and Republic...
Republic changed their numbers because it's 85, Republic is 85 to 100 for the BJP and 94 to 108 for the Congress. So basically, all three surveys are giving an edge to the Congress party. They are, all of them...
Within one seat of each other, Republic and
Vishnu and Ankit.
Yeah,
Vishnu and Ankit, it's not about an edge for the Congress party. Given the nature of Karnataka and given the fact that the BJP is the party in power here, I think the Congress is looking at above 120, as has been publicly stated. I'm saying what the Congress party is saying, leaders. So if it's this close an election, then it's Congress is in a very difficult wicket. It may be ahead, but if they don't cross the mark comfortably on their own, they're going to be in a difficult state.
As everybody in Karnataka have been saying, there is only one way that the Congress can make a government. That is a clear majority of their own.
This could be a hung situation right up the top, which is what... go ahead.
Can I give an interesting statistic?
Yeah, please.
In 2019 Lok Sabha elections, if you look at the assembly constituencies, BJP won 177 of them and Congress had just 36. But the interesting aspect was that the BJP had gained a lead compared to 2018 of between 0 to 10% in almost 80 seats. And the Congress had lost.
But that's because the JDS vote, JDS always polls about 20% vote in assembly
and also,
there is no
data. News Nation CGS, hold on. News Nation CGS data has come. This is the first exit poll so far which is giving BJP a clear majority. 114 for the BJP, 86 for Congress plus 21 for the JDS. So the only exit poll at this moment which seems to be favoring the Bharatiya Janata Party forming their government with a majority is News Nation CGS, which is giving 114 to the Bharatiya Janata Party. Just coming back to that point that you were talking about, the extrapolation also at this moment.
Look,
go ahead.
Ankit, we can't do that extrapolation in Karnataka primarily because the JDS gets a 20% vote in every assembly election It drops to 9% in a parliamentary election.
True, and also the parliament election is different. The Prime Minister is on the ticket. There are complete different dynamics.
No, but I think what we're doing is just getting our thoughts. We're just getting our thoughts
on third player doesn't exist
on what this actually has to say.
Modi factor is more than 50% in Karnataka in national elections.
That's true.
And that is versus 31% in all India average.
Amitabh, let's just sum it up. You've got one which is completely in favor of the BJP, and the others which are more or less similar, with Congress
Let's
a
get
little bit of
political reactions on this for how the political
parties
parties
first, and then we'll get political
it's on
reactions.
expected lines. 3 out of last 4 elections have thrown hung verdict. This also shows that it could be a hung verdict with Congress as the SLP. However, what Veera Raghava is saying is that
can I make a point, Vishnu?
in the last 2 to 3 times when there has been a hung assembly, the SLP has not been able to form the government.
Right, the single largest party has not been able to.
It happened in 2018 as well. BJP could
2004 as well.
2004 as well. Let's very quickly get reactions from Karthik. I'm just coming to you. Let me start. In fact, at this moment, Mr. Ajay Alok, at this moment, there is only one exit poll which is giving BJP the edge. Though others giving, it's a close fight, but the 3 out of 4 exit polls are keeping Congress ahead.
Well, with all due respect to the exit polls, I must say one thing, that in 2018 also, none of the exit
Okay,
polls
so there's a
said that
second
we will
one which gives the BJP...
Yeah.
I mean, you may not want to use the word edge. I take the point that Veera's making, but, it seems to suggest that you may be just a little bit ahead. Go ahead, sir.
Well, we'll
Ajay,
see
go ahead, yeah.
when the results will come, actually, because we are pretty sure, because we have our own internal survey and we have our own internal dynamics, because we are talking here of Panna Pramukh. We talk to our voters. So with our calculation, we are comfortably ahead of majority. I hope so. There should be no problem in forming
But what is it that the BJP, I mean, now forget the rhetoric,
I have a
Ajay.
question, Vishnu.
Ajay, what is the number that you were looking at? 130? I mean, now that the elections are over?
And let me complete one thing. The last election was concluded in 2019, not 2018. And in 2018, BJP alone got 51% of votes, irrespective of caste, creed, and region.
Okay. Veera Raghava, you had a point to make. Go ahead, Veera. Yeah.
I just have a question. Given that the BJP has never, ever, in an assembly election, come close across the 112 mark, what is the confidence that the party has this time, given that you are fighting anti-incumbency? Why is it the party is claiming that it can emerge as across the halfway mark this time? What is that X factor that you're talking about?
See, when we are talking here, we are talking of Karnataka's diversity in terms of caste and creed, and in terms of how caste is important even within the party, in terms of Lingayat, Vokalinga, Kavadu, Dalit, Banjara and all. But we are not talking in terms of what you see the beneficiary group, what the Prime Minister has added in the last 9 years.
Okay,
All across the
Ajay,
country.
half a second.
This
Ankit, I think what we can do, and if you just help me out on this, Ankit, let's have this up full frame, and let's just reflect on what all of this is all about. We'll just sort of digest this for a moment. So, if you look at News Nation, they've placed the BJP at 114, the Congress at 86, the JDS at 21. Republic TV PMarg has placed the BJP at between 85 and 100. The Congress at between 94 and 108, and the JDS between 24 and 32. If we look at Suvarna News, they place the BJP at between 94 and 117, the Congress between 91 and 106, and the JDS at 14 to 24. If you look at TV9 Bharatvansh, you've got 88 to 98. Is to the BJP, the Congress ahead over here, 99 to 109, 21 to 26 for the JDS. And finally, Z News has got the BJP at 79 to 94, right? The Congress at 103 to 118, and the JDS at 25 to 33. So the BJP at a lowest of 79, going all the way up to 117, depending on what you're looking at.
You know what's also interesting in this is that out of these 5 surveys, the upper limit for 2 surveys is giving the BJP an absolute majority. 114 and 117 is 2 surveys are saying. Only one, though they are giving an edge to the Congress party, but only one, the upper limit is giving Congress a full house majority mark at 118.
Vishnu, Ankit,
Yes, Veer Raghav, please go ahead.
I think all polls are hedging their bets. They're predicting a defeat or potentially what. So I think it's or they're
How
all
does it
predicting
help
a
their
potential
credibility
hunger
by
strike.
hedging their bets?
They have to be in
Well, I
this
guess
business for a
they-
long time.
No, because I think the margin, if you're looking at the kind of margins that they're projecting, it might be, it could be this way or that way. I think they're all predicting a potential hung assembly. That's the takeaway from
Okay,
the
so
exit polls. If
Shugata,
they're
would
right-
you agree that a hung assembly essentially is where this is we aren't doing a poll of polls because that can potentially go wrong as well. Let's look at these individually.
Vishnu, this is a deja vu kind of situation because 2018 was exactly similar and you grossly underestimated the JDS numbers. So JDS numbers was also projected between 22 and 26 in 2018. For a moment I thought they are repeating their plates, 2018 plates. So if the others are getting close to a majority number, and if the JDS is where it is, then it's a
Kumaraswamy is CM.
Then it's a finish your thought.
It's somebody would be forming the government on
So
their own.
the JDS is going to be kingmaker. That's what you're saying.
No, what I'm trying to say is that if the numbers are correct,
It's going to be king.
then one of the parties will form the government on its own. But I don't think that the JDS numbers are going to be 25 or 26. It's going to be slightly higher.
Okay.
So if that is going to be higher, then either the BJP has to surrender its numbers or the Congress has to surrender its numbers, which will bring the whole thing down. So it is a hung assembly.
So
is
Mr.
what the exit
Kumaraswamy, all his extra phones and number of phones will be all ready. I mean, he'll start getting the calls and the permutation combinations.
I think it's not correct.
Working it out.
It's not correct to sort of, frame Kumaraswamy in such a fashion because, see, this is 20% vote coming from a certain region which believes in the leadership of that party, believes in a certain caste identity, believes in a certain kind of outlook and worldview. So it is just to dismiss them as kingmakers, I don't think is the right thing to do.
No, but that's not a dismissal of them as a kingmaker. They are quite important in the play of things for Karnataka. Whatever way happens, they can't be
what I'm trying to say
in any way.
I'm coming to the next point. What I'm trying to say is that exit polls or opinion polls tend to focus on two big parties. So that is where you may go wrong.
Shugata,
I'm not trying to say that
you are suggesting
Shugata, I
that
have
the
a
JDS
question.
numbers might be significantly larger, right?
not significantly
They may be
larger.
more substantial.
See, they
I have-
cannot get
I
anything
have a
more than
quick
40
question.
is my belief.
Right.
The best case scenario, because the head-on fights, if you look at just the numbers, I don't think they will cross that number.
But Smita,
and today,
I have a quick question, Vishnu.
Yeah, go ahead.
Shugata.
Veera, just half a second, Veera. Smita, give us your view on what you are seeing. I mean, it's all over the place.
See, as far as even though three of those...
Let's have the up full screen again, just in terms of
even
the
if,
entire thing.
most of the surveys are showing that the Congress is ahead. Unless the Congress gets majority plus something, it is unlikely that the Congress will form the government, if these numbers are correct. Because other things may be different in Karnataka. Somebody said, one of your panelists, that you can't judge the way elections happen in Karnataka the way you judge UP or Jharkhand. But when it comes to government formation, I think the same rules apply everywhere.
and Vishnu, the last time the single largest party did form the government, they lost the vote on the floor.
Shugata,
in 7 days.
So one thing,
Then that
Dr.
two
Priya,
others, and you remember
quick
the
question
midnight
to Shugata.
In
Supreme
all the
Court
numbers-
hearings and all
Yeah.
that.
In all the numbers, even those that give an
can I
edge to
make
the
a
Congress
point?
party, the BJP seems to be doing better than what was normally
Right.
believed. I think that's a very important takeaway, whether you give them a clear majority. And I do think the other part of the argument, and I agree completely with Sugata, the party that is regionally concentrated, that region is such an important region, the old Mysuru region. The Prime Minister put all his bets on that region, including that very important rally that he took out in the city of Mysuru.
Right.
Now, which is the party which has been taking on the BJP ideologically, not the Congress party's last minute entry of Bajrang Bali, but it is the JDS that has been since 2022, I have been tracking back in each of the constituencies. Those who said it's happening in Udupi, it was happening in Bellur.
Yeah.
Now, who was taking on the BJP in Bellur? The JDS was taking it on. The local MLA Lingesh, in the assembly on the ground, Revanna, who's the MP for Hassan, taking it on the ground. So obviously, if it's an ideological battle on the issue of Bajrang Bali,
and
it
also,
had an undertone.
Quick question,
Veera, go ahead.
Quick question to both Shugata as well as Manisha, since we are at the JDS this one. Every time I spoke with Devagowda Shugata this time, he said JDS will get quote-unquote a working majority. A working majority, not a clear majority. While Kumaraswamy keeps talking about clear majority, Devagowda categorically said working majority. What is the number you think the JDS would have to play around? I'm not talking of a hung assembly alone. If it's a hung assembly, what's the number that the JDS would need as a minimum threshold to call the shots like it did perhaps in 2006-7 or it did in 2018?
You want me to
go ahead.
Yeah, I don't think there is a particular number. It just depends on how short the other two parties fall. So, and today, I think Kumaraswamy has made a statement somewhere that
it's
he has
between
said that
14 and 33. So again, this is also fairly all over the place.
So Kumaraswamy has said that we would have done better in 25 seats if we had more money.
Yeah.
So today, I think somewhere in Bangalore, he has made that statement. So he has always said we'll get 123 and we will form the government.
That's rhetoric.
That is completely out of whatever. But I think they are going to retain 18 to 19% of their vote share, and their strike rate will be higher because it's a concentrated vote share that they're going to get, unlike the
Rajat has been waiting for a while. Rajat, go ahead. Yeah, sorry.
I mean, I just wanted to pick from where Manisha ji had left. 3 months before the election, BJP was hovering at around 60 to 70. There were just so many headwinds not working in favor of the party. There were this issues of corruption, and the whole narrative was something.
Well over 70 now in everything.
Yeah, that's what. I mean, this is what I'm trying to say. When your campaign starts speaking too early, because, a Congress party has been working for the past 6-7 months, and they laid all their cards before. And when it could have peaked at perhaps the right time, when Prime Minister Modi came in and swept away those critical 25 seats, and which is going to make all the difference in terms of having a clear victory for Congress party versus a hung assembly that we are going to see.
No, and so Kartike, my question to you is it not your belief, therefore, that what I was asking in the beginning of the program, the Modi X factor, may just have changed equations? Because let us face it, the BJP, from all accounts, different surveys, etc., appeared not to be dominant about 15 days back. Some would suggest that they were ailing in Karnataka. They may just end up winning these elections. Is Modi,
Vishnu,
I don't think
they're going to win this election, to be honest. I think the Modi magic works in conjunction with when you have a decent state leadership. Here, you had a lot of headwinds at the state leadership level. Whatever the BJP will do will largely be because of the Prime Minister, you can say that, yes. But can he pull the election on his own? I doubt that. Because when it comes to re-electing incumbent government, Prime Minister Modi's appeal also goes down. Election after election has shown that. Can I also make another point on the nature of these exit polls? Is anybody reminded of the West Bengal exit polls seeing this? When everybody was hedging, everybody was just hedging. And at the end of it, you saw a huge mandate, a one-sided mandate. My sense is the Congress could end up getting a clear mandate despite some of these channels, with all responsibility, I'm saying if they are hedging in favor of the Congress, then actually you can sense what's happening.
They're hedging by a huge margin. If you look at the Z News thing, it's BJP is 79 to 94. It could be anywhere.
So Vishnu. And Vishnu, currently, if you look at the ones that I call the more reliable polls, if you look at what C-Voter and Access is doing, they're doing it sequentially. And I think there it's clear that at least as of now, the Congress seems to be doing in areas like central Karnataka. Yeah. Now, Veera and Maya will tell you how important that could be.
Kartika, I have to take a break. I have to take a break, and we'll come back to all of you, and Maya waiting also very patiently. We'll come back, take a look at all of these exit polls and what it actually means. Does it mean anything at all? Well, it just means that we journalists will have a lot of hard work to do over the next 1 week if it's going to be a hung assembly.
I know, it also means that at this moment our primetime slots and shows are decided. We are talk about this. Right. It gives us talking points, and everything else changes
for the next
on the 13th when the result comes in. A quick break, we are coming back.
Welcome, you're watching the Karnataka Exit Polls. And what we are trying to do over here is to give you, our viewers, a sense of what various exit polls have said. We've not done any ourselves. And if you take a look at what the others are predicting now, you'll probably get a good idea why. Because they're all hedging. And therefore, while some have suggested that the Congress is ahead, others have said that the BJP is ahead. But the hedge, the margin is absolutely huge. So let's start from the top. If you look at News Nation CGS, it's 114 to the BJP, 86 to the Congress, 21 to the JDS. So here they are predicting a simple majority for the BJP. Republic TV, again, they have hedged in a big way. News Nation hasn't hedged, which is interesting. We've got a new one actually. We've got ABP News and C Voter, BJP at between 66 to 86. So the BJP is low over here. The Congress potentially is at 81 to 101. The JDS between 20 and 27. So this has placed the BJP lower, the Congress higher, but then, you know, it's within that same band, broadly speaking, in certain respects. So it's difficult to say. But the Congress by C voter is still way below a majority mark by itself. News Nation, I've already mentioned, they're saying BJP all the way, simple majority. Republic TV has placed the BJP between 85 and 100. And they've placed the Congress, let's just have that up again, if it can just stay on the screen, between 85 and 100, and 94 and 108 for Republic TV, 94 to 117 for the BJP for the Suvarna News poll, 91 to 106 for Congress. So, I mean, 94 to 117 and 91 to 106. Again, a huge hedge over there. Before I introduce my panelists, let me just go across to my colleague Veera Raghav, who's also with us. So, Veera Raghav, other than one poll, which has actually come out with a single number for the BJP, Congress, JDS and others, the others have all hedged in a big way. Go ahead.
Yeah, they've hedged, but to be honest, Vishnu, anything below 120 would not be seen as a victory for the Congress. I mean, it's not just about crossing the 112 mark or getting close to it, as it is for the BJP. So that aside, Vishnu, I wonder if these polls are also predicting a vote share percentage. That would be just interesting to watch out for if they are pulling up vote share percentages. But at the moment, it seems like all of them in the grey area of a hung assembly, except maybe one or two, which seem to be one predicting a clear win for the BJP and the other two, which say that the the upper limit for the Congress would mean a clear majority of over 112 seats. None predicting more than 120 for either party. So that's interesting to look at.
Yeah, none. So Sanjay Kumar with us, Desh Ratna Nigam as well. And we've got Aarti with us, we've got Tushar, we've got Smita, and we've got our other panelists who are also with us. Let me just come to you first. What do you make of this? It's all over the place.
What do I make of these exit poll predictions?
No, okay, firstly, pointed question. A lot of them are hedging. What does a hedge as large as this actually imply for us?
I think there is a clear indication that the election was not one-sided. At least if you go by the findings of these exit polls, elections are not one-sided. There was a close contest. It is very difficult to say in this close contest whether BJP is ahead of the Congress or whether Congress is ahead of the BJP. So these polls give a clear indication of a close fight between BJP and the Congress.
Okay. Desh Ratna Nigam?
Well, if this is the kind of exit polls we are getting...
Then there's a kingmaker involved, right?
Kingmaker involved, certainly, but I might also open an agency.
You might also...
Open an agency.
You might also...
That's a very good idea.
But it's a close election.
Sure.
In terms of vote shares.
Yeah.
But in terms of seat, we have seen places where, like previously in Madhya Pradesh, where BJP had a 0.5 vote share more, but got lesser seat. So in terms of vote share, I can agree that this is a very close thing, but the possibility and how well the parties have handled seat-wise, that will show that closeness of the vote share, which party will take the higher share. And there is a possibility of one of the party nearing a majority. That's a possibility.
That's a possibility.
That's a clear possibility.
Of the BJP joins us. Mr. Ashok, how do you actually look at this? A handful of them are actually suggesting that you'd have a simple majority. News Nation is saying a simple majority. The upper band of Suvarna News seems to suggest that you might. On the other hand, a few are saying that the Congress is marginally ahead of you. But by and large, this seems to suggest that you are ahead. But, if there's a broad reading, it is just that what Sanjay mentioned here, that this is not one-sided at all, and that this is going to be a close contest. Would you accept that?
No, the exit poll shows different opinions. One's exit poll BJP, one exit poll Congress, and JDS also playing the role in the exit poll. But we are confident. After Modi rallies in Karnataka, after Amit Shah ji rally in Karnataka, within 10 days, big swing in coastal area and especially in the Bangalore and north region of Karnataka. I think BJP will cross 113 seats, magic number.
Okay.
There is no doubt.
Okay, Mr. Ashok, given that the exit polls seem to be predicting hung assembly, are you all set for another round of resort politics, A, in Karnataka, and B, you've just come out of a campaign against the mighty D.K. Shivkumar in Kanakapura. What do you think your prediction for Kanakapura is?
We are not going any resort. But the Congress and JDS people, they like go to resort. Yeah, we don't. We are a national party.
That all political parties like resorts.
Yeah.
And the BJP is no stranger to resorts either. We can name several examples in the recent past. I just wanted to ask the Congress a question, get their reaction. Rajiv Gowda with us. Mr. Gowda, it was widely believed that things were going the Congress's way. These exit poll results indicate that that may not necessarily be the case, while you may be narrowly ahead in some. How do you read this?
I think the word that you used, hedging, reflects what the exit polls are doing, the pollsters are doing. They seem to be very, very, very afraid of telling the truth, which is really that the pulse of the people is towards the Congress. You've seen opinion poll numbers from hardly a few days ago, and you saw the level of anger that there was against the BJP. You had 57% of the population that was, of the people polled, who stated that they were angry and wanted a change. Suddenly, 20% of them will come and switch just because a prime minister or a home minister came and did some road shows. Please, these are really a variety of...
Well, Mr. Gowda, one poll seems to have revised their data, and it seems to suggest that the Congress is virtually, if you look at the upper band, could possibly be forming the government almost on its own, which is ABP has revised their data, 83 to 95 for the BJP and the Congress, between 100 and 112, the JDS at 21 to 29. So this is the one exit poll which seems to suggest that you may be within striking range.
See, Vishnu, in our case, whatever we've been able to gather from the ground, what numbers we're getting from our polling booths and our inputs from various MLA candidates suggests that these are massive underestimates. We are way ahead, and we are very confident of forming a government on our own. So I don't think that this trend is anything relevant. It's not capturing the kind of sentiment that's there in favor of the Congress and against the BJP that's across the state. And basically, you've all done these shows. You've understood the pulse of the people. This is not capturing the actual trends that you will see on election day, on counting day.
Sure. Veera, go ahead.
No, I just quickly want to ask Rajiv one question. Given the numbers that you're seeing on the exit poll, and he's not a typical politician to rubbish exit polls completely, I hope. But Rajiv, quickly,
I'm
given
not sure
the numbers that you're
seeing,
given the numbers that you see, does it come as a shock for the Congress? Because you guys have been talking about 130, 140, and there was a sense of confidence, but inside there was a sense of nervousness. Does this make you more nervous? Honest answer.
No, it basically is reflective of the same sentiment that made sure that we do not get complacent, that we would basically.
But polls are over, sir. This is the time, but polls are over. These are exit poll results.
Yeah. That's why even before, when you kept asking us these questions, we kept saying we're going to win with a simple majority, with maybe 20, 25 seats more than the simple majority, which will help us protect the government from poaching. And then we also said that regardless of that, we are going to act and behave as if we are borderline, because we cannot afford to let our guard down. We can't let last minute changes happen.
No, but Rajiv, is that the real worry, that there may have been last second changes?
I actually
in the last
don't think
10
so
days,
at all.
whatever the factors were, it worked against you.
No. I think that's very much media hype, Vishnu. It's not the story on the ground, and that's not the story.
Okay, so we'll see how that plays out. Shugata had a point to make. Go ahead.
Final voter turnout has come to 65.69,
That's
which is
well lower than last
far
time.
lesser than last time.
No, but it gets updated.
Even if it gets updated, say 2 or 3% up, it's still.
It can get updated.
It could get much higher updated.
Right,
Shugata, never go
but
back
as the chief electoral officer has tweeted saying it's 65.69 at 6 p.m. So based on that, if the enthusiasm to go out and vote is so less, are you throwing out an incumbent government? I mean, are we missing something there? Is the question. That's the thing. And then Priyank Kharge at 5 p.m. has tweeted saying that it's unusually low turnout in my own constituency of Chitapur. I don't know. This is extraordinarily,
So, Aarti, how does that
what does
a relatively low voter turnout, assuming that is the case, what does that actually imply? Does it imply anything?
So at one time, it used to imply that a low voter turnout was pro-incumbency, high voter turnout was anti-incumbency. But I think recently we've seen there's been a change in that. We've seen even a higher voter turnout can be pro-incumbency. We saw it in West Bengal, for instance. There was a higher voter turnout. And look at the way Mamata Banerjee swept, for the third time. So I really don't think we should necessarily draw conclusions from a voter turnout. Also, I want to say one thing. The ranges are so huge. I mean, there is a huge difference between 94 and 117, for instance. 94 means that you have to do Operation Kamal. 117 means you can form a, sort of government on your own, right? And all of them are, showing pretty large ranges. 103, 118. I mean, 103 means they have to go to the JDS. 118 means the Congress can form a government on its own. So, the only value of these exit polls really is that at the end of the day, when all of them are out and you do a poll of polls, do you get a trend? Do you get a trend of whether
I think
the
there's a danger
Congress
in doing a poll
is
of polls as well.
you can get a trend from the, when you see the thing that, does the trend show the Congress in the lead, or does it show the BJP in the lead? And that's really the only conclusion, the only value of an exit poll is that.
We can't do a poll of
Vishnu, quickly.
We can't
Tushar, go ahead. Half a second, Veera. I'll come to you next.
No, we just need to get R. Ashok there, Vishnu. Since R. Ashok is there, I think it's an important question to pose to him as well, given that he is a strong Vokkaliga leader of the BJP. Sir, the BJP seems to have made an effort in the Mandya region. Who do you think will suffer more because of the BJP, if the BJP gains in the Vokkaliga heartland A? And what's your prediction for Kanakapura?
Yeah, I think it will be hit JDS, I think, because we targeted in the southern part of Karnataka JDS. So regularly the JDS not will they regularly telling we will crash 113, 120, but they are only in the exit poll. They are showing only 20 to 30. So I think JDS we will lose more seats. We will gain in the Mandya region also.
You will gain it.
Does that mean that you may not have an ally in JDS post polls?
No, 100%. No alliance with the JDS.
All right, that's it. We've recorded that, Mr. Ashok, and we will play that back in a couple of days from now. Let's see how that goes. But Maya's been waiting very patiently. Maya, what do you make of the big hedges over here? Go ahead.
What I see when I look at the screen and all of those numbers is resort owners rubbing their hands in glee maybe some MLAs rubbing their hands in glee as well. I do see another hung parliament. And of course, if you'd come to me before the numbers were up, I'd have given you the same thing, an edge for the Congress and the BJP trailing. I do see a lot of research work. I do see a lot of reaching out to MLAs from other parties. What the JDS does, though, will be interesting because father and son, H.D. Devegowda and Kumaraswamy, seem to look very differently at an alliance with the BJP. Kumaraswamy has entered one before. He's very much been part of a coalition with the BJP, while his father, even at that time, said, never, nothing doing, it won't happen. And we have Mr. Ashok also here saying that nothing with the JDS. But many people do feel that if there is an alliance, it will be the JDS and the BJP. So that is really the big question once all of the resort work is over and done.
I'm just trying to understand, Aarti, the dynamics over here of actually getting potentially into an alliance. Is it all, I mean, squared up and sorted as far as the JDS is concerned, that one way or the other they will swing to whoever they feel is forming a government, or are there still dynamics within the party between, say, father and son which need to be sorted out?
No, and I think that there is an effort going on by Nitish Kumar, for instance, to get JDS on board,
right.
You know, in a sort of larger opposition front for 2024. But Vishnu, you know, my own sense is that I think the BJP, if it doesn't have the numbers to form a government on its own, would not like to form an alliance government right now. Because I think for them, the BJP is looking at the 2024 polls. And, you know, if you go back to 2018, you know, when the Congress and JDS got into an alliance, although the BJP was the single largest party, but the Congress and JDS got into an alliance, formed a government. And, you know, by the time the 2019 elections rolled around, the anti-incumbency had kicked in, and with Modi's, you know, kind of overwhelming, you know, kind of campaigning, the Congress did, I mean, the BJP did phenomenally well in Karnataka,
sure.
You know. So I think what the BJP would look for is a repeat of that. So why get into, they can always do Operation Kamal after 2024, sure. Right? So why should they do it now?
Sure.
I think for them right now, 2024 is the main target.
I think there is also another dynamic that's playing out between DK Shivkumar and Siddaramaiah if these numbers hold on 13th of May. You know, on who could potentially, who the JDS, we leave that for 13th of May, but I think we should just go across to Dr. Sudha of the BJP as well. Quick reaction to these polls. It doesn't seem like the BJP is jumping beyond the majority mark. I mean, is this the best case scenario that the BJP may have internally hoped for?
Very good evening to all our viewers. First and foremost, I'm really astonished to see Mr. Rajiv Gowda's talk, the confidence what he is having in spite of having poor performance. They were ruling Karnataka for more than 6 decades, and I can say, and the Bharatiya Janata Party has ruled only not even half a decade. And you look at the development, what we have given, take it FDI investments, highest FDI investment, highest unicorn startups.
No, but ma'am, the elections are over. Sudhaji, what we are asking you is...
No, that's what I'm telling. I'm just coming to the point.
Do you believe that you're going to form the government on your own, or do you believe inevitably you'll need partners?
No. Definitely, I'll say we'll form the government of our own because of our performance, what we have done in the past 3.5 years, take it flood, take it COVID, the way we have handled the situation, and along with that, without giving any excuses, we are in the top 4 in our country. So based on our performance, definitely we are going to stand ahead.
All right, I'm going to take a short break and then come back to Sanjay Kumar, who has a couple of key points to make over here. But in case you've just joined us and you're looking at these numbers, trying to understand where this is all headed, I think there are just 1 or 2 points which actually Sanjay was mentioning earlier on, which we can bank on. Number 1, it's not going to be one-sided. Number 2, it's going to be a really close contest. But if you were to ask anybody who's winning or who's losing, too early to say. Take a short break, come back. Welcome back. You're watching Karnataka Exit Polls. We'll bring you the exit polls of everyone. We haven't done any ourselves, and these numbers will probably tell you why. Because A, people hedge, B, the hedge is huge, and C, you aren't getting any clarity over here other than a summary, which is that the Karnataka Exit Polls seem to be predicting a hung verdict with the Congress ahead in 3 exit polls and the BJP ahead in 2. Sanjay, you had a point to make. Go ahead.
No, I was saying that if you look at the data, some agencies have started revising their seats. I don't know how it's happening. Second, I think most of these exit polls are being very, very cautious, because look at the trend of Karnataka. If you look at the last 4 elections, always Congress have got more votes and ends up with less number of seats. BJP less votes, always in proportion they get more seats. I think this is an indication of a close fight, and in this close fight most of the pollsters are trying to play safe. That's what I understand from looking at
and
these
opinion
numbers.
polls got it wrong in 2018, right? A poll of opinion polls back in 2018 indicated that the Congress would win the highest number of seats. That didn't happen.
Because standard thing is that if you get a higher vote share, you are most likely to predict that the party will get more votes, more seats. So you remember that Congress got 38% vote, BJP got 36% vote. So in a normal situation, most of the pollsters are going to predict more seats for the Congress and less for the BJP, and this happens in most of the states. Karnataka is an exception because of the concentration and dispersal of votes.
Veera?
And also, just to add to what Sanjay's point, and to add to the fact that it's two-way fights, where the Congress beats the JDS, fights separately with the JDS, the BJP has a marginal presence. So Congress can up its vote share in those regions, which can show a greater vote share, but doesn't convert into seats overall. But I think our Ashok here, extremely interesting that he is here, sir. You have fought in 2 constituencies, Padmanabhanagar, which is your constituency in Bangalore, and you were fielded against DK Shivkumar, who, you've known him for a long time. Was it just a token fight in Kanakapura, or what do you think the results are going to be there?
No, not for token fight. I fighted. Last, out of 12 days, I stayed in 9 days in Kanakapura only. The people likes BJP, Modi government, but they dislike their DK Shivkumar and brothers, just like a dictatorship in Kanakapura. Last 20 years. There is no election in 20 years in Kanakapura. First time when I enter in the Kanakapura, there is a fair election in this time. I think Kanakapura, Padmanabhanagar, no problem. I can win more than 60,000 lead. Kanakapura also I am fighting. I think the people of Kanakapura will vote for BJP.
Quickly, one question to you before we let you go. What is your number prediction for the JDS? I won't ask for the BJP because you'll say 150. You will tell this one for the Congress. What's your number prediction for the JDS, sir? How many seats do you think JDS is going to win this time?
I think it's about 20, 23. That's the maximum I think JDS will play.
Which is essentially what all of the exit polls are saying. The exit polls are essentially saying between 20 and 30. No one has said, between 20 and 30, the lowest being 14, the highest being 33, as far as the JDS is concerned. Tushar, we were trying to come to you earlier on as well. What is your sense of what may now be happening in the various headquarters of the political parties?
Well, when we have a poll of polls, looking at all the exit polls, all the 3 parties can get anywhere between 0 to 224 seats. Right. That's the poll of polls for this evening, because the numbers that are changing, they just don't add up. It seems everyone has factored in the past trends of Karnataka. Everyone has factored in the ground sentiment from the last few weeks, and they probably would have been little more conservative with the BJP had it not been for the Modi's roadshow and the entire issue around the Bajrang Dal. Nevertheless, I think for the Congress, the equation is quite simple. They need to get 114 seats or they do not form the government.
In an election which is really close, you have to look at others as well. And Smita, others could be up to as many as 6. That's significant, and that's where potentially, the BJP has its strength in sort of securing the support of independents or other smaller parties.
I'm sure both the Congress and the BJP are in touch with those people, especially because we have DK Shivkumar. The Congress has an asset in Karnataka, unlike in many other states. He has the resources and the ability to, and he's also quick off the mark.
Right.
So I'm sure right now both BJP and Congress must be, sending out feelers not only to the independents but to the JDS.
Sure. Shugata, I mean, if there's any one point that we can actually look at in terms of the campaign, you know, if the BJP's narrative has been more on national issues, they raised that entire sovereignty issue, Bajrang Bali later on, and the Congress focused on issues of Karnataka, you know, employment, this, that, and the other, corruption, etc., etc. Could one argue that in fact that Congress strategy wasn't entirely valid, that the BJP's larger, more nationalistic narrative did or will probably have a mark?
No, Vishnu, I tend to disagree a little on that, because the Hindutva thing was not a major thing during the election. It was a hyperlocal election, it was a subcaste election. The Hindutva thing, the Bajrang Dal thing, what it did to the BJP was, you know, the BJP worker was extremely depressed, because the Congress, you know, I mean, media blitzkrieg was very, very high this time. You know, they were playing the BJP's game, and the BJP worker was genuinely depressed. You know, I was talking to a lot of BJP MLAs and workers and parliamentarians, and they said, I mean, there is no enthusiasm. So what happened at that point was, Modi capitalized on the Bajrang Dal thing just to charge up and recharge the worker.
Right.
So it may be limited to that extent. So if they were a little depressed, they sort of felt a little happy and came out and worked a little more. So I think that is the thing about the Hindutva thing. Otherwise, the Hindutva thing did not play a major role for the last 10 months.
Sure.
And I don't think it will spin around things for them in the last 10 days. Although it has sort of created a bit of enthusiasm, and probably the party worker took 10 more voters to the polling booth today, because they felt that this was their core issue and things were working.
Right. I think in a lackluster campaign, what Sugata is pointing out, it gave them a talking point towards the end. But just a quick question, Vishnu, to both Smita as well as Maya, perhaps Sugata as well. You know, when I remember when we asked Devagowda specifically, I mean, if these numbers hold, and I'm saying purely hypothetical, if these numbers will hold and the Congress goes to the JDS like it did last time, when I asked Devagowda specifically, between DK Shivkumar and Siddaramaiah, do you have a choice? He said, no, I don't want to get into internal affairs, but he went on into talking about Varuna and how Yediyurappa was supposed to field his son. There is an old and bitter personal rivalry that exists. If these numbers hold, Smita and Maya perhaps first, do you think that Devagowda may be looking at the DK Shivkumar, the caste equations that come into play, perhaps to, you know, talk to for the Congress?
Well, whenever we do talk about the Congress, we're always talking about DK Shivkumar and Siddaramaiah. Siddaramaiah, yes, a rather bitter history with Devagowda. Devagowda actually expelled him from that party, the Janata Dal Secular, and there is that unhappy history between them. And even within the Congress, there are still some people who view Siddaramaiah as having come from the outside, not an original Congress person. There is, of course, with DK Shivkumar being a Gowda, being a fellow Bokkaliga, like H.D. Kumaraswamy, like H.D. Devagowda, there is also the opinion that perhaps that will be an extra bond between them, that they may be happier to see DK Shivkumar there. Of course, they will not openly say anything at this time because they're still talking about making the government by themselves. But possibly in such a situation, rather than deal again with Siddaramaiah, which there has been a bitter history, they would probably look more towards their fellow Bokkaliga, DK Shivkumar, who pretty much shares power in the same belt of old Mysuru.
All right. Well, we're going to take a short break at this stage and get responses from our other panelists as well. We, didn't initially start talking a great deal about the JDS, but perhaps we need to be talking about the JDS at this stage more than any other party. We'll take a short break, come back with a lot more. Welcome back. In case you've just tuned in to get some sort of clarity on who's going to be winning the elections in Karnataka. Remember, today was voting and today exit polls as well. The actual counting will take place on the 13th, and I'm afraid we are not in a position to tell you other than indicators are that it's going to be quite close. And that itself would surprise quite a few people. Many would, for example, have suggested that the Congress might be ahead. These polls don't seem to indicate either way just who is ahead, but they do seem to suggest that one way or the other, the JDS will play an important role. Now, we've been getting reactions as well. The senior leader, B.S. Yediyurappa, spoke about the exit polls. We'll listen to that and then bring you the numbers for you to take a look.
You wait and see after the result. Even now I am 100% confident because I have governed of the state and I know the pulse of the people of Karnataka. Even now I am telling you that we are going to get absolute majority and we are going to form the government.
Sir, but exit poll, as of now, exit poll says the Congress leads but short of majority and most probably hung assembly now comes.
According to me, we are going to get absolute majority. The question of hung assembly does not arise at all.
Sir, in any case of short, do you think about the alliance with JDS?
At that time, the national leadership is going to take decision. According to me, you see, we are going to get 115 to 117 seats. So that's why I am telling you that question of joining with the JDS at present does not arise. Let us see after the election result over, then we will take appropriate decision. Our national leadership is going to take decision.
Sir, some analysis saying that some big leaders are disappointed with BJP leadership. That's why this type of trend is coming on.
No, not at all. All are worked day and night very hard. That's why I am telling you that we are going to get absolute majority. Even now I have that confidence. Let us wait and see.
And sir, any chance of changing of the leadership in Karnataka?
That is left to the national leadership. They will take their own decision.
Sir, how many seats you know? How many seats?
We are going to get absolute majority, and now we are going to form the government.
Sir, one last question. The analysis also saying that communities are neglected by the BJP government, like Lingayat and Vokalinga communities.
No, that is not correct. Everybody have taken confidence, Lingayat and Gowda community and everybody. And the question of neglecting any community does not arise at all. Because of their all support, now we are going to get absolute majority.
So you are saying that BJP is going to form
101%. You see that some channels are showing 150 to 117, 118. Let us wait and see.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Here, BJP leader Mr. B.S. Yediyurappa over there. Let's have these numbers up full screen. There's a new exit poll which is also out, and we should be updating that very soon. That's the NDTV CNX poll. In fact, that's the second one there on your list. But I'm going to go through this. If you look at ABP News, they've got the BJP between 83 and 95, the Congress at between 100 to 112. So if it's 112 within striking range, the JDS, a huge factor, could be up to 29. India TV saying that the BJP is between 80 and 90. The Congress could be as between 110 to 120. In the context of what appears to be a close election, if these are the numbers for the Congress, then they'd be reasonably satisfied with that. The JDS between 20 and 24. The JDS numbers fairly consistent all throughout. If you take a look at News Nation, they aren't hedging their votes at all. BJP is 114, 86. Okay, we've got Mr. Bommai speaking. Let's listen in.
So, but our information on ground is very clear that we are going to get 100% complete majority, comfortable majority. And the real poll results will be there on 13th. I think everybody should wait till 13th.
So the polls are showing that some polls are showing neck to neck and showing BJP at 95 and Congress at 106. Do you still feel that the exit polls are getting it wrong?
No, exit polls are exit polls. It can't be 100%. And there will be plus or minus 5% variations in all polls. That is the bracket. So that can change the whole scenario.
Sir, Congress,
in case of
Congress said that EC has reported a huge increase of voter turnout. This is a very positive sign for Congress party depicting an
It is other way around.
Against BJP.
See, always if you go by the track record, the more number of voters turn out is always better for the BJP, not for Congress. And this shows that a lot of people who otherwise not come and voted, especially in urban areas, they have come and voted. So that is the positive sign for BJP.
Sir, are you in talks with JDS if there is hung?
There is no question of hung. We are going to get absolute majority, I am telling you.
So the Congress is making allegations that near Dandeli already buses have come and they are approaching their MLAs, sir, BJP, MLA candidates.
This is all their figment of imagination. Thank you.
All right, Smita, go ahead. You had a point to make, yeah.
I just wanted to answer that question that Maya took a little while ago. While I agree with Maya that, Mr. Devegowda has a huge problem with Yediyurappa, who was once his colleague, and he has never quite forgiven him. And in the event of a Congress JDS government forming, maybe Mr. Devegowda would prefer DK Shivkumar. But the problem with Mr. DK Shivkumar is the moment he is announced, I think the BJP will immediately get into action and there will be cases. There are already cases pending against him, so it will make it very difficult for the Congress to make DK Shivkumar the Chief Minister if it is in a position to form the government, in which case a third person could emerge.
This is assuming, of course, that the Congress is in a position to form
only assuming that the Congress is in a position.
Okay, we're going to take a short break and come back with more. It's all pretty exciting stuff. Even the confusion, I suppose, is exciting considering the sense of anticipation before these elections. We'll take a short break, be back. Welcome back to our look at the exit polls, and in case you've just joined us, it's not a clear picture at all. It appears to be a close election. Now, in all of this, the JDS is going to play a very, very key role. That seems quite clear. But is that something that the JDS is willing to do instantly? Some would suggest it's just a matter of time. The outreach from the BJP to the JDS or even the Congress to the JDS may already have started. There isn't any one natural ally per se of the JDS. We had earlier on spoken to Devegowda and Kumaraswamy about their equations and the possibility of alliances. Here's what they said.
Including Bharatiya Janata Party or Congress, the two national parties cannot form the government on their own.
So what is your thought on opposition unity, sir?
No, opposition unity I cannot say because I have not toured the state. Only Kumaraswamy has got West Bengal and Telangana, and he was also concentrating only in Karnataka.
Here both the parties, they treat us like enemy only. Whenever they require JDS assistance, then they will come to us. That is their character. But I wanted to tell you one thing. Whatever BJP friends telling, we are the B team of Congress. Then Congress telling we are the B team of BJP. But my message is that we are the B team of Kannadigas. We are with Kannadigas only.
All right, so what Mr. Kumaraswamy is saying over there, very, very significant. We are with the Kannadigas, accusing the Congress of being the B team of the BJP, interesting over there, but essentially indicating that this alliance is not going to be something which should be taken for granted, that whoever comes has a larger number is necessarily going to ally. Quite clearly, the JDS would be looking for what's in it for them. Well, joining us now, the Cabinet Minister, Mr. K. Sudhakar. Thanks very much, sir, for being with us. Sir, how do you look at these exit polls? They seem to narrowly be favouring the Congress, but it's quite clear that the BJP numbers are perhaps stronger than what many would have expected a few days back.
See, a couple of points I would like to make on these election predictions or the exit poll surveys. There are 8 exit poll results that you have shown, out of which 3 are showing that Congress would come back to power. And the 2 exit poll surveys says that BJP will come. And the other 3 says it may head towards hung assembly. So it is very clear and evident that it is a very close call, close election.
Right.
Which I totally
Mr. Sudhakar,
agree.
Sorry, Mr. Sudhakar, my quick question to you. I'm sorry for interrupting you. Last time in 2018, you won from the Congress, you shifted over to the BJP. Are you going to remain with whichever party, the BJP, that if you win these elections till the end of this term, sir?
See, I am binding by the ideals of BJP, and I stick to the party. I am a very committed BJP loyal worker now. In fact, I was the head of the manifesto committee that we have prepared. We have given one of the best manifestos where we ensured that empowerment, not freebies. We focused on empowering our youth, our women, and we ensured that we provide a good health care, good education. So there is a beautiful manifesto that we have come out with.
Right.
So,
sir, the elections are over, Mr. Sudhakar. You're talking about your manifesto. Let's see if it works. But my question to you is, give us the inside story of what's happening in the BJP in Karnataka as we speak. Is there already a process of looking through these exit poll results with the objective of possibly reaching out to the JDS, knowing fully well that it's not going to necessarily be very simple in getting their support?
No, it's quite hard for me to believe this kind of exit poll reports, because from the ground we have traveled length and breadth of the state. We do understand the pulse and what is going on in the ground. According to that, we feel that BJP can cross the magic figure this time, or it can be the single largest party. So this is my take. I will not believe that it can come below 100.
One last question to you. You say it will not come below 100. It may cross 112. One last question to you. Do we see another 5 years of instability in Karnataka, or do you think that there will be a stable government? Some of the polls, sir, 4 of these polls are predicting potentially the upper margin is that the Congress could get a majority on its own.
No, I don't believe, because people have rejected Congress throughout nationally, and they had rejected the Congress in 2018, and we don't see anything fascinating for the people to believe in Congress again, because it is a divided house. The leaders are at loggerheads with each other. So why will people of Karnataka believe? Because people of Karnataka is prudent and they are sensible people. When a person like Mr. Modi is at helm of affairs in the nation, why will not they choose the double engine Sarkar?
Okay.
Because it will benefit the state, it will benefit immensely the people of Karnataka.
Okay, Mr. Sudhakar,
so
just
I'm
half
very,
a second,
very
sir.
confident, because
I'm
people
interrupting you because I've got your colleague, Mr. Ashwath Narayan,
past.
with us as well. I just wanted to, because I'm running out of time, just wanted to go quickly with him. So could you give us, your sense of the inside story now? It seems to be extremely close. Do you still believe you're going to win by your own strength, or do you believe that, it's going to be a hung assembly?
Definitely, people of Karnataka, they want a stable government. That is one thing very clear. The people want stable, and they have taken a very clear decision that in the state of Karnataka, it will be a stable government under the leadership of our Honorable Prime Minister. They look up to our Honorable Prime Minister, the double engine Sarkar. Probably in this direction, the entire globalized world, the economy of the state of Karnataka also is dependent on a global line. So I am of all the confidence, probably whatever might be the exit poll report, but the real ground reality is the minimum what we are going to gain in the state of Karnataka is minimum 120 seats, sir. I can tell you very confidently, 120 is the minimum what we are going to gain in the state of Karnataka. Definitely, the state of Karnataka is completely unpredictable by any of the surveys. The issue is it was completely dynamic, very dynamic.
All right. All right. So the line is getting a bit dodgy over there. 120 is what Mr. Ashwath Narayan seems to believe that the BJP is going to win without any problem. But that's what all the parties are saying, that no, we are winning on our own. So I guess we'll have to wait till the 13th of this month. We're going to take a short break and then come back with the news. And then after that, 8:30 onwards, we'll be back analyzing these numbers. For the moment, from all of us here, this short break.